He says, one of the only guys I know who, when trying to say fixed hair, goes, it's easier to, people say comb, brush, fix, coif. That's the word he just pulls out, because that's, you know, again, he's Elizabethan. Thank you for your question. You? He works here.
Oh, I'm sorry, I wanted to make sure. So my question is...
Thank you for sharing, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Someone raised well.
Thanks. So my question for you guys is, what's your favorite movie soundtrack?
Ooh, that's a good question. When we were flying here, I flew here yesterday with my youngest son. I've been showing him every now and then when we travel. I try to bring one boy at a time. I've got 3 sons, and it becomes a cool way to spend one time, a little dad-son time with one kid. And I usually, especially when we're flying, I try to inject a movie I would like them to see, because they're a captive audience. It's hard to wrangle the fellas to get them to watch movies that I think are cool if they're not in the mood for it. But on an airplane, what are they gonna do, walk out? So we watched, I guess I'm not allowed to say titles of movies. If I'm not in it, can I say the movie title? I can, right? Well, yeah, I can say this because it just celebrated, I think it's 40th anniversary. The Lost Boys.
I should hear it.
The Lost Boys soundtrack, when I was a kid, and even now, is a fantastic soundtrack. Now that's not score. You know, like the soundtrack, I absolutely love that one. I also love like Boogie Nights. There's some that have like that. Those are all, you know, existing. I guess Lost Boys is a lot of original music, but Boogie Nights is all old stuff that they gathered. But also, just from a score standpoint, American Beauty, one of my favorite scores.
Well played.
That's a gorgeous score. And I know about, no, I don't want to step on strike stuff, but I'll go with that. I love scores. I just love them, especially if I love the movie or connected to the film. But even if I didn't, you know, one of my favorite scores, and this is not even a movie, but anybody go see the immersive Van Gogh?
Yes.
So that music to me was unbelievable. The score for that was unbelievable, and I went to the gift shop looking for it. I was going to buy it, and it actually is a Spotify playlist they put out for free. So if you've never heard, or if you saw it and liked the music, Immersive, the company that does those immersive things, puts out the score for free for all the ones they've done. They're just on Spotify.
Is it all Chopin?
No, it's all it's.
Sorry, I meant Chopin.
Chopin, yeah. Chopin, Breton. It's not. It's a mixed bag. They dip into Pilaf, and they dip into some people I've never heard of. There's some piano compositions by a pianist who I have saved. I don't remember his name. They're so gorgeous and haunting that it's been a long time since I got that excited about a score, and immediately downloaded it, listened to it, and forced my wife, who's a beautiful piano player, to learn one of the pieces, because it's just such a haunting, and she can read music, and I can't. And she downloaded it and learned to play it, because it's just such a gorgeous piece of music. If you don't know that score, but you've seen the immersive, even if you haven't seen the immersive thing, go on Spotify and look up the immersive Van Gogh. It's gorgeous.
I'm going to do that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, what about you? What scores or soundtracks?
This one probably just a lot of music you know. We've never yet played it in front of us, I don't think, but I'm struck with probably the Commitments.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, yeah.
Commitments.
Yes.
Dude, okay, I got a little Commitments trivia. So I was in, this is my favorite, so I was in a band in right after college, in my early 20s, called Fugitive Pope. Fugitive Pope did one record. We got signed to a tiny label in North Hollywood, California, and we did one record. And we were an acoustic trio that we were my buddy Sam Klein. You remember Sam Klein? Right, so we were, in fact, you got us one of our first gigs at Genghis Cohen. You hooked us up because you knew somebody at Genghis Cohen, and you played harmonica there or something.
I had played it.
Yeah.
Although the first time I ever played harmonica was with a band of a little pal named Richard Speight.
That's right.
Richard Speight.
Tim played harmonica with my college band, Strange Neighbors, and that band. But so Fusion Pope played. We were playing with my buddy Sam Klein as an acoustic trio under the name Sammy and Rich Funkle. And even though there's another guy named Larry in the band, lovely Larry kind of got shut out of the title, but it was Sammy and Rich Funkle. And when we got signed, we changed it to Future Pope. We added Larry, we kind of changed it to
Wait, you mean Lawrence?
Yes, exactly. Lovely Larry was his name. And we became Future Pope. So when we made the album, we didn't have a standing bass player or drummer. So, this I'm just getting back to what we're talking about. So they brought in, to play on our record, the bass player's name, Paul Bushnell, who at the time was in a band called Edna Swap. Edna Swap never broke big, but they wrote a song that broke big called Torn. Natalie Imbruglia's song. Edna Swap wrote that song and recorded it first, and then she picked it up and recorded it. And Paul Bushnell was the actual bass player for the Commitment soundtrack. He's an Irish bass player, rock guy, who did this. So when you listen to the music, you're listening to Paul Bushnell on bass.
Is it stand-up bass or electric?
Electric. Unbelievable player. And just to finish the story of this thing, the drummer they brought in was a 22-year-old kid from the Valley who played, who was insane. He was an unbelievable drummer. And he just got named and selected to be the new drummer for the Foo Fighters, Josh Freese. So, Future Pope, the main three dudes in Future Pope didn't do much of music, but our support staff, our drummer and bass player were the best in the business. So, if you want to find deep Josh Freese drum tracks, go find yourself some Future Pope. Just
Yeah, no harmonica at all.
Sorry. Yeah, no, it was lick and stick free. So Commitments is, what about score? Is there a movie where like just...
Okay, then if we're going to go score, we're going to go with the Mission.
So Mission's, Ennio Morricone. Ennio Morricone did the Mission.
See, this is why I didn't want to do the title purchase, because he's much smarter than me and knows people's names.
Man, well, I mean, Ennio Morricone, you can put up anything that guy's done. If you want to hear a guy who's just run the gamut, download Ennio Morricone and listen to him start with, a fistful of dollars through the Untouchables, and just everything he did in between. I mean, the Mission being, he's an unbelievable composer. Unbelievable. Anyway, I could go on.
I do have to credit, I didn't come up with that on my own. My dear friend Marco Sanchez turned me on to that score, so I've got to credit my buddy Marco.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. One of the other great scores, and then we'll go back to the CD time, soundtrack, was Apocalypse Now. And one of the things I loved about how they released that soundtrack was they kept in the sound mix of like choppers. And so if you listen to it, it's almost like an audiobook in a way. They'll have snippets of Martin Sheen talking. You'll hear helicopters, like when he goes into This Is the End. It's not just the Doors song. It goes through and you hear, it's a sonic experience. At least the original CD was. I don't know how it presents itself now on Spotify or whatever, but if you actually had the album or the CD of it, it was stunning how they did it. And I love that because they kept elements of the movie in the score. Do you have a favorite?
I have a few favorites, actually. Mine are kind of, you're probably gonna roll your eyes, but I really like Titanic.
That's gorgeous music. I just took my sons to see that in Vancouver when they re-released it.
Yeah, the 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
I was there for that too.
Took my sons to that, and they absolutely loved it. That movie holds up beautifully.
Yeah, James Horner is just a genius. I love his music.
Indeed.
And I like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, again, and fun. That's a fun score too.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you. Good question.
Thank you.
That was a thinker. What do you think about those? Yes, go ahead.
Good morning. This is a weird question. As a kid, is there a favorite dish that you like?
So,
Can you take that down for me?
see, we are friends for 35 years.
Okay. Is there a dish that you love as a kid, and when you're hanging out with your friends, you talked about it, and then you tried to have them taste it?
Dish?
A dish.
Food. Okay. Well, I definitely didn't make them try anything because I don't really cook anything. so I wouldn't have ever forced him to try it. I'm trying to think of what I liked as a kid. Well, this is cliche, but I always liked my mom's stuffing. Thanksgiving stuff, you know what I mean? I always liked that, and this is a dish, again, not fancy, very basic, but that I loved and had to sort of force my wife to get on board with Thanksgiving, is the sweet potatoes with the marshmallows on them. Oh, my grandmother did it?
Yep.
Yeah, Frank knows what I'm talking about. I love it, like sweet potatoes are fine, but they need the marshmallows on them. You know what I mean? Like I said, that's the thing to me. So
That'd be a sweet potato casserole.
in a way, like it's literally a sweet potato dessert, is what it is. But you mix it in with the entrees and confuse everybody. So I'll go with the stuffing, which, by the way, I know it's like in bad form to do stuffing inside a bird now. Like apparently you can die. I miss that. We don't do it, but I miss the stuffing in the bird. That was dope. And then the sweet potatoes with the marshmallows. Any?
I missed with questions.
What food item or dish did like your parents make for you that you still reflect fondly of, and maybe even cook yourself?
Well, of course, it'd be my great-great-great-grandmother's potatoes all brought to
I saw this softball in the air. I'm like, all right, get out of the way in the back.
However, having 17 brothers and sisters, I never got my fair portion.
We think that may have led to his crisis of years ago. Are you a cook?
I was before that thing that happened to my brain.
Right. So you like to dabble in the kitchen?
I was the dad of the kitchen, yes.
So what was the thing you enjoyed making for your daughters and wife the most? What was like?
I made a pretty damn good, well, I still make a really damn good pesto.
That's awesome.
But if I had pesto, it would be the, probably I'd go with an enchilada. That's pretty good.
Do you make good enchiladas?
I do make a very good enchilada.
That's cool. I grill. I do enjoy grilling, and I don't want to toot my own horn, but I grilled some bitchin' chicken like 3 nights ago. That was so I like messing around. Again, I think everything I say food-wise is a bit of a cliche, but I do like grilling, and I like cooking outside. I think it's awesome when you have the ability to do that. It's kind of cool.
I think with grilling, I used to like grilling a lot too, but now it's become such like there's 17 shows about grilling, grill masters. So I feel a little inferior to the grill masters on the television.
Well, then you're not going to like the show King of Enchiladas that'll be coming out soon. That'll destroy your love of that dish. Thank you for the question. Hello.
Hello, my name is Morgan, and I'm good at dancing around this strike stuff. So,
Sure.
on that certain time where you Zoom with Rob for like an hour,
The podcast?
yeah. I'm not sure if I have to dance.
I think I can say podcast. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so on that podcast, either you or Rob said something about asking about broccoli, so I decided to ask about broccoli.
Yeah? What did we say?
I'm pretty sure you said, we can't answer strike stuff, so ask Rich what kind of broccoli he likes.
Okay.
Actually, not my question.
But I'm going to tell you, steamed. And I'm going to tell you something else. I do a good steamed broccoli. I wanted this as a segue. And there's a bit of a debate in our house, and my wife is a far superior cook. Far superior. But the boys like my broccoli better. And it bugs the shit out of her. And she's like, we do it the same way. I'm like, doing? I mean, I don't know what I'm doing different, but they seem to respond better. It may be my panache, how I serve it, I don't know. But somehow I've got her in the broccoli department. Anyway, there's your answer to that.
I always wanted, how does Richard Speight make broccoli?
With love.
With love, the ingredient.
So I have a way more really specific question of what kind of broccoli, like bake or fry or whatever, do you feel like encapsulates Nashville, Tennessee?
What kind of broccoli kind of like encapsulates Nashville, Tennessee?
Yes.
Grilled broccolini. On a grill tray, slightly seared, lightly salted.
Making me a recipe to make to help my dad make.
There you go. You're gonna love it. You do like, so we, you know, again, I'm going back to my grilling, but I like, you have the grill tray, you do that so your broccolini doesn't escape. And then you pre-rub it down in olive oil, or roasted
Just
chicken.
the South, could you do a little like bacon grease?
Oh, baby. Yeah, you could. I'll tell you something, you can put anything in bacon grease, and I'll take 2, please. It's apparently, again, it'll kill you. But I'll tell you, there was a period of time, for medical reasons, when I was not eating meat, and I, at the time, did a movie set in the South. And I'm from the South, I'm from Nashville, Tennessee, but this was even deeper than in a smaller town. It is tough to be a vegetarian in the deep South if you're really trying to adhere to it specifically. Obviously, there are vegetarian restaurants and all that kind of stuff, but just this catering, I'd be like, there'd be big, you know, green beans. And they're like, we got you a green bean dish, got you covered, enjoy. And I'd scoop it out, and there'd be like the neck of a pig. And you cooked it with a ham hock, like, well, hell, I'm not an animal. I was sitting there, not making it with pork. Eat around it, it's a vegetarian. Sure. And there was slabs of meat and everything, or pork fat or whatever, but that's what makes it good.
Did the chef ever go, boy, you gone Yankee on us?
Boy, you know, I remember literally somebody said one time to another friend of mine who was from Oregon, we were teenagers, he was visiting the South, and we're talking to somebody, and somebody said, blah, 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 George Jones. And my friend goes, who's George Jones? And the guy looked at me and said, you don't never heard of George Jones? Boy, you from? And I love that question because it's one word. Boy, where are you from? Boy, you from? You know, one time Jason Mans and I spoke redneck to each other to get out of an awkward situation. Because we were somewhere where they spoke fluent English. And we were exhausted and trying to get out of the situation. And Jason, who's from rural Virginia, leaned over and he said, let's talk redneck, they won't be able to follow our vernacular. And I'm like, okay, let's try it. And he'd be like, y'all want to get out of here? I'm like, shit, you want to get out of here? What else? Like, all right, let's tell me we don't feel well, so we'll get out of here. Like, all right, let's do it. 1, 2, 3. We don't feel well, we're going to have to go. And the fact that you deep Southern people don't move their mouths, you can't read their lips, you can't do anything, especially you got a mustache.
Well, the fact that Jason used the word vernacular is
I said that so you knew what I was talking about. Jason don't use those big words. That's from the Omundson dictionary.
Richard Jones just go, I say, Richard, I feel like I would touch the bad most.
Tim's version of that would be like, let's speak in unrhymed iambic pentameter. They shan't be able to follow us. Proceed.
Richard, shall we have gone?
Exactly. You think I'm exhausted. Thank you for the question. Appreciate it. I think I answered it. Did we answer it? Yeah, I got it.
Hate to break in real quick. I believe we have time for just one more, guys.
All right, one more question. That's you. No pressure. This is it. This is the one they're going to walk away remembering. This is the question that's going to seal it all up and bring every topic we've addressed today, and maybe even previous events, to a point that leaves everybody thinking, wow, they summed it up beautifully thanks to that question. And the question is...
Hi, I'm Eden, and my question is, well, we're all familiar with the particular Tuesday morning on the show.
Right?
If you had the option to choose a different song for when the boys are waking up, what would
Oh, like
it
a song, the repetitive song?
be? Yeah.
So the idea is, what song would we pick that would basically be an annoying song to wake up to every day? Because in the certain show she's talking about, there's a song by the band Asia that plays over and over again. What's a different song? What's a song you find annoying that would antagonize Jared and Vincent if they had to hear it every morning? What do you think about that?
Baby shark.
Baby Shark's two in the nose. There are literally, there's songs in the world.
I did have.
Oh, I know one. I got it. because I hated the song growing up. It drove me nuts, and back in the day when you only had the radio to lean on, every time it popped on, I pushed the button to go elsewhere. True by Spandau Ballet.
How dare you?
Boy, there's some Spandau Ballet fans over in this podcast. Yeah, that's the one I would do and to drive them bananas. That's that one. What about you?
I feel this is really more your department as the director on that particular type of show, but I'll give it a shot. Okay, to annoy those boys on that particular show, to doom them for a particular, the Macarena. The Macarena.
And that is how you wrap up. Oh yeah, we're here. We'll be back here spewing more gossip and nonsense. So if you have a question and didn't get to ask it, we'll be right back on this sofa tomorrow. This is fantastic. Thank you for people who are throwing Momento Con for this opportunity. I've never gotten to do this with Tim. Known him for 35 years, and finally, this is a great moment. So thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you all for being here. Thank you, Momento Con, for putting it together. We'll see you guys later. And now you can clap as Tim goes down the stairs.
I gotta get up first. I'll take the water. It extends. You want to go
Thank you, everybody.
I emptied out so much of my stuff, I left my picture in the house. Yeah, he said just come back, but we're doing.
And then when you said when you're coming to this one, you're like, what was it again? Yeah. I don't understand.